Hello my darlings, I'm Danger Gen Vex and welcome back to another Sims house build. As you can see, things are starting out a little differently with this house build, and the reason for that is we are not going to build a house above ground. We are actually going to build this entire house underground. Now, I've done something like this before. I've built a bunker before, and that is essentially what I'm going to be doing here. I'm building a bunker. I've done it before, but I wanted to do it in a very 50s kind of style, 50s, 60s kind of style. The original one that I did, and you can find it in the gallery under my profile. But that one, I based it on a movie that I'd recently watched at that time, where it was about this family from, that kind of war era, and the bunker that they'd built and their son that had grown up, I think, for 30 years inside that bunker. So that was what I'd originally done. This time, I didn't want to do the same thing. I didn't want to do another kind of 60s, old-timey bunker house. This time, I wanted to do it more modern. What if we were to break out in a kind of war and we need a nice house or something, we want to live underground and it's apocalypse now and etc. etc. You get the idea. So to make sure that this doesn't feel too much like you're being stuck underground, if you play this house, I do recommend that you play with auto lights, but that you try and all the lights that are outside, you can set on and off with set this room on and set this room off and set this intensity. So if you do a playthrough or something in this house and you want to record it, you can actually adjust the lighting outside so that it's dawn and dusk and night and whatever, if you want to. If of course you don't have to, but if you want to, because all of the lighting outside comes from the same lights. Anyway, so naturally, to make it feel like you're living outside, and not living, underground, you've got, a kind of fake garden, you've got a swimming pool, you've got, the green lawn, you've got the walls that look like they're blue, the blue sky in the distance, you've got trees and all of those wonderful things. So it's literally, you've got everything that a real house above ground would have, except, a blue sky. Big, that's the one downside. Like in Sims 3, you could paint the ceiling, which I really, really miss. It's one of the things I miss the most, oddly enough. But you could paint the ceiling. In this one, you can't. So the ceiling, no matter what you do, is going to be white. Ceiling is white. That's like tough luck. Otherwise I would have made it blue as well. But you can see me just fiddling around, a bit with the outside. This is also going to be a multi-part build. I did try and, see if I could put it all into one build. But because there's a lot of fiddling required for a bunker build, and because I was really just going with it, I felt like doing a bunker build again. And so that's what I did. I didn't really plan much of it ahead. So, it's kind of a haphazard build. I think in this video we get, a lot of the landscaping close to the house done. I'm probably going to do a bit more, but we got most of the landscaping done, both in the house and up on the lot itself. And we got the shell pretty much done, I think. We've got a greenhouse done because let's face it, if you're living in a post-apocalyptic world, you're going to be growing your own food. You're not going to run to the shopping mall. Now that I think about it, I'm probably going to have to put everything into this house. I'm going to need to give it a gym and a meditation area and a study. It's going to need everything because you can't leave this house. It's a post-apocalyptic world, right? There's nothing out there. But the house is, I guess, large enough for it. You see, the thing with this house was that when you build a basement, you can only go down 2 levels, which is why the pool is, up there and not down on the ground floor, quote unquote, ground floor. But why it's on the upper floor, because you can't go down more levels. This is as far down as you can go. So it's like tough luck. I can't do any more than that. Which kind of sucked. I would have liked to build a 2-story house and a 3-story basement. So I could put on a fake roof and all of those things. Make it like this proper 2-story house with a gap between the 2nd story and the roof. I thought about doing it this way, building a single-story house and not have this upper level, or, not have any walls or anything in this upper level, so that it would seem, if you had all the walls up, that there was a gap between it and the roof. But I don't know, it felt kind of like a waste of space. I might do a bunker build again where I do that, where I do like the single story build, or I can make the entire, a single story build with like a gap between the single story and the roof. I don't know, okay? Now you can just see me fiddling a bit with the walls. I really did want it to try and be, very homey, warm, comfortable. But at the same time, I didn't want it too modern, but I also didn't want it to be, that classic, the old school feel, as I mentioned. In the end, I think I've decided to kind of gone with this sort of, I call it comfortable. It's not minimalist, it's not modern, it's not old school, it's not anything. It is very much just a cozy build, because I figure if there are, if you're going to be stuck underground for a good 10, 20, 30 odd years, aside from the survival factor and must having everything you need down there, you want to be comfortable. You want to have nice couches. You want to have a view, even if it's a fake view. You want a view. And you want lights that you can adjust so that sometimes it's night and sometimes it's day. And you know what I mean, right? Of course you know what I mean. Of course you do. So I use this little corner you can see here now. You need a way to get from the top to the bottom, to the entrance of the house. So there's this. I use that kind of hazard, danger, scientist door, but the rest of it is, pretty much camouflaged. And then you get in here. This is where you enter the bunker. And I kind of struggled with this for a bit because it's in the basement, it doesn't quite register floors and ceilings and walls like it would if you were building above ground. So there was a lot of fiddling and findangling and, annoyance. But so in the end, I had this, I used that kind of prison chain link fence to create, what feels like this cordoned off area. And then you've got water pumps and oxygen pipes and fans and all of the things you would need, to stay alive underground, Pretend that you've got this very... excuse me, it is 3:30 a.m. But you've got this very upscale water filtration and air filtration system and everything. I'm still considering going in there and, just dumping a bunch of boxes and stuff in there. So that you've got this little storage area. And I'm considering putting in another storage area. Maybe. I don't know. It's under consideration. You can see just fiddling a bit more with, the garden and the plants and the everything. One of the trickiest things is, creating a kind of realistic looking garden, but not having an actual garden. I learned this little trick, using that bush to make a tree, because it makes this very nice, it actually does make for a very nice looking tree. I love using this method now, and considering that a lot of the trees are too tall to use down here in my bunker area, making fake trees is pretty much what I can do. That is what I can do. Excuse me, I've got a wee sniffle. I don't know why. It is very annoying. Excuse me for just a second. Oh, that was disgusting. Anyway, so here you can see me doing landscaping as if I'm above ground, even though I'm not. I'm underground. Isn't that marvelous? It's so wonderful. What I usually also, what I did with my previous build, like the 80s or the 60s or whatever bunker, is I tried to create, the stickers that you use under the kids' room decorations of the clouds and the cloud and the moon and those. I tried using them in this build, but they just didn't feel the same. They just suddenly looked a lot more cheesy. And they kind of ruined the view. Whereas this plain blue did just fine on its own. Thank you very much. So I'm creating, I wanted to, or I don't know what when I did the decorating around the pool, it was like, there's a window there looking out on it. And I figured, there's got to be some garden around it and everything, so that when you look down from the top, it looks like this garden and view around the pool, and when you look through the windows at the bottom, again, it looks like there's garden and view around the pool. Oh, excuse me again. I have no idea what I'm doing now. Oh, I'm going to put in the greenhouse now. So like I said, I figured if you're going to live underground, you're going to have to make, you're going to have to grow your own food, and you're going to need somewhere to do that, because you can't plant anything on this fake grass. I will give you like a bit of a heads up. If you want to grow large plants like trees, you are going to have to put planters on the bottom level. Those won't grow in the treehouse because in the greenhouse, because it's a single-story greenhouse. But if you do put the planters on the... Ooh, I am sorry, that is so rude. If you do put the planters on the bottom floor, large planters, you can actually grow trees in them. So I made sure that you can, kind of grow... There's enough planters that you can have veggies and fruits and... whatever you need. There's enough space there for you to grow and graft and go nuts. Now, I did want to create... I don't know if any of you watch Star Trek. I love Star Trek. I adore Star Trek. And for a long time, the original series, TOS, was my favorite Star Trek. I actually have the whole collection, and I've watched it multiple times, movies and series. Love the original series. But I have to say that when I was introduced to Star Trek Voyager, Voyager really, they kind of stole my heart. It's very difficult to pick between the two, I will say. But because in Star Trek Voyager, these guys have like a 70-year journey that they have to make back to Earth from where they'd accidentally been tossed across space. And obviously they don't have enough power or supplies for a 70-year journey. I think the max journey was the 5-year mission. So, all at once without going, and even they had to restock and resupply and all that jazz. So these guys had no way to restock or resupply or whatever, and for food they created hydroponics bay. And that's what those, those flower boxes against the wooden frame in the greenhouse were meant to kind of show. It was that it's not just a greenhouse and planter boxes, it's kind of like an underground hydroponics bay. So even though this is a very comfortable house and, it's not ultra modern, it does have ultra modern stuff in it. The water filtration, it is futuristic, and the air filtration is futuristic, and the hydroponics bay / greenhouse is futuristic. Whatever. I've probably lost half of you by now. I'm so sorry. Just go watch Star Trek Voyager, okay? If you like Star Trek or Star Wars or any of those Star kind of movies, Stargate, you will like Star Trek Voyager. Go watch Star Trek Voyager. And if you're a girl who wants to see how much a female captain can kick ass in the Star Trek universe, then go watch Star Trek Voyager, because Captain Janeway is the shit. She's awesome. And there were a couple of things, like sometimes she's too awesome for her own good, but I'm not here to talk about Star Trek. I'm here to talk about this bunker. So right now, I didn't quite know what I wanted to do with the inside at first. So I just put out a carpet, put out some standard walls, all of it. I did the colors even. I think I did raise the walls a bit so I could put down a fireplace. Just made sure that everything else still worked and fit and blah blah blah, etc., etc. But I wanted it to be very cozy, like I said, so the colors inside are soothing and cozy and comfortable. I don't know, unless you're the kind of person who really despises neutral colors and soft colors and that sort of thing. But I went with what is generally accepted as calming and soothing colors, subconsciously or otherwise. Colors and the kind of things that should soothe you and keep you comfortable. And I think I just realized that I forgot to put the stereo in. Of everything that I could have gotten, I forgot to put the stereo in. I'll do that next time. I'll put in a stereo. But yeah, so we've got a fireplace. It's a very, like I said, ultra futuristic kind of fireplace. It doesn't need a chimney. It doesn't create any smoke. It burns, it burns this weird natural kind of gas thing that the bunker comes with. Okay? No pollution. Pollution free. Just putting down I put down very natural paintings, but also I put down that collage of photos because I felt like you'd want to keep your memories and whatnot safe as well. So you want this to feel like a nice kind of comfortable family home, because you're gonna need everything you can to keep your mind off the fact that you're trapped underground, and that the reason you're trapped underground is more than likely because the world has gone for a bowl of shit, and that it's uninhabitable. It's gone all Resident Evil up there. I make a shitload of movie references. I'm sorry, I can't help myself. I do. It's because I love movies. I adore movies very, very, very much. Movies are my life. Anyway, so in the spirit of making sure that everything is nice and, cozy and comfortable and kind of, a little cluttered, we've got books on the fireplace. I didn't put stuff on all those display stands, but please feel free to put whatever you like on those. Collectibles, whatever. Just put whatever you want on those. And then I picked this couch. It's an unlocked couch, but it's in the house now, so you should be able to use it. but it just looked like one of the most comfortable couches, 3-seaters in the catalog. And I was like, yeah, oh yeah, that's the couch. That's the one I want. And I want it right in front of the TV because that's the couch I'm going to veg out on. That's the couch where when it just gets too much and you need to forget you're in a bunker, you take your comfortable, blanket and your pillows, and that's the couch you go lie on, with your coffee and your snacks and your Dom Pedros and chips and chocolate and hot chocolate and you just pile all of the snacks there on that little coffee table, and you pull it closer and you veg out on that couch with your extremely excessive library. I mean, this house comes with every single series and movie ever made, just saying. So you can veg out on that couch and spend hours and hours watching and still not run out of things to watch. This thing has enough data in there that it can simulate the internet. Except for the fact that you probably can't talk to people because nobody's alive for you to talk to. So there's that, unfortunately. Sorry. Now, obviously, as this is a bunker, you don't want just anybody to come walking into it. So, again, you've got the door that kind of says, stay out, danger, this isn't the place you want to be, piss off, this is not public property, just go away. And then I used those runes, the rune rocks and everything to just create this kind of frame of where a house used to be. And then rocks and everything where there were rock slides. Obviously there's some trees again because as you can see it's probably been a few years already after the disaster that I built it in. I think this is Oasis, right? Oasis Springs. I think that's what it's called. So it's got all the desert plants and everything around it, and this ruin of the house that used to be there, and all that standing is the entrance to the bunker. Maybe the people, they know that the apocalypse is over and that life has begun to return, but because they've been underground so long, they don't feel comfortable with returning to the world outside. So they've decided to just stay down there, I suppose. But here you can see the house, it has, this is the front view. What you mainly see is the ruins and the plants. You're not really supposed to see much of anything else. So you've got the front view and the side view. I think I also gave you a couple of shots of the floor plan as well. But, that's kind of what this house is. And in the next episode, or I don't know, maybe we'll finish decorating in the next episode. I'm not sure. But hopefully, this won't take another 3 or 4 episodes. I'm hoping to finish it in 2, 3 at the most. Fingers crossed. So this is the, like the supply room and the vent room, and all the clean air and water goes through that. I wanted to show you what the house looks like when you did the double story view, but the windows were wonky. So I did one without the windows and then the one with that. Here is the wonderful, cozy, comfortable living room. I put a tea set down. I'm not sure why. Maybe this is a very English bunker. I'm not sure. Or English people living in the bunker. They have to have their tea. The pool area, there you can see the greenhouse. The inside of the greenhouse with all the planters and everything. So you have more than enough space plant what you want, your little hydroponics bay. Here's the floor plan. So you can see there the top view with the greenhouse, the planters, the pool, and a little, roof, and then the tiny little living room in the big picture that is this house. But that is pretty much it so far for this build. If you guys have been enjoying this, please leave me a like down below. And remember to leave me comments and suggestions for the coffee and comments video coming up soon. But thank you guys again, and I'll see you next time. Bye!